Setpoint is an open book company. I'd like to tell you how Setpoint got into that position by telling you a little story about the beginnings of Setpoint. Setpoint was founded by Joe Cornwell and Joe VanDenBerghe, two engineers, one mechanical, one electrical. They had been frustrated at a former company where they were working because they never knew what was going on. And as managers in the engineering department, they never could find out financially what was happening in the business. So when they founded Setpoint as their own company, they decided they were going to open the books. They were going to share the numbers with their employees and let them know what was going on with the numbers. Unfortunately, their strategy to do that was to get a copy of QuickBooks and to hire a part-time CPA for advice. And after arguing with the CPA and getting confused by QuickBooks, they didn't know what to do. They couldn't figure out how to explain the numbers, and they were really kind of frustrated. After their frustration, they were looking for someone to help them. Now, my background is in finance. I started my career at Ford Motor Company, but slowly worked my way down to smaller and smaller companies and found myself working alone as a consultant. And in that capacity, Joe Cornwell called me and said, "Joe, I've got this new company and I've got some ideas. I'd really like you to come out and help." I believe at the time they had 5 employees, the 2 of them and 3 others. And what happened at that point was he brought me in for an evening meeting. It was on a Wednesday night, I remember that. And he said, "Joe, I want to share the finances with my employees, but I'm just really confused. It seems so hard." And I said, "Well, what are you trying to explain? Tell me what you need to do. Because if your CPA is telling you to do one thing, that doesn't mean it's the way you have to do the books. You can do them any way you want." And so he got up on the whiteboard and he wrote this down. Remember, this is a mechanical engineer. He said, "In my business, what I have is sales." Now remember, Setpoint at the time and still today was building automation equipment for manufacturing. "And after I have a sale, I have stuff to buy." And that's exactly how he put it. I got to buy things to make the product that I just sold. "If you take my sales and subtract my stuff to buy, you get what I call aggregate remainder." And then he told me it's very important that our employees understand aggregate remainder because it's a critical number in business. I told Joe that yes, aggregate remainder is a very important number. And in finance and accounting, we have a name for that. We actually call it gross profit. And Joe said, "That is so great you guys have a name for that." And I told Joe, "You know what, I can't take credit for it. We named it gross profit years ago." And so it goes. We've developed a business that actually looks at the books on a weekly basis. Every Monday at 1 o'clock, we have what we call a huddle. And in that huddle, at 1 o'clock, we look at how much gross profit we generated and compare it to our expenses, which we call OE, to see if we're making money. We have a bonus plan linked to that. We let everyone know how we're performing. And then, of course, we provide training to help our employees understand what the numbers are. We believe that open book management is the way to run a business, and it's been a great thing for Setpoint. And as I always like to say, remember, every day is a great day to learn about finance.
Setpoint is the leader in turnkey lean automated solutions. We've been providing custom automated solutions for a broad variety of industries over the last 16 years.